Hey guys, what's up? So a few days ago, Eurogamer has officially dropped their review scores. Previously, they've been rating the games with scores from 1 to 100 like most websites or magazines actually do, but now they have stepped away from that and say that in the future they'll only recommend a game or not. They kind of broke it down into 3 different scores, if you want to call it that, one being essential, one being recommended, and one being avoid. So basically any game will get one of these 3 verdicts in the future. It kind of makes sense to me since games have changed quite drastically over the last years. Nowadays, games don't come just on a DVD and you put it in and that's what you get. Games get updates, they get patches, they get DLCs, a lot of content is added post-launch. So how do you score an early access game, for instance? All these questions really were screaming or were making it necessary to rethink the traditional way of reviewing a game with a 1 to 100 score or 1 to 10 score. But of course this launched once again the age-old discussion to what extent traditional review scores actually make sense. Now I can remember even like 10 or maybe even 15 years ago reading PC gaming magazines and already having this discussion going on. Now 15 years later we're still having review scores being the main way of judging a game. But like I said, with games getting more and more complex and more updates coming post-launch, it gets just much more difficult to maintain the traditional review score system. I mean, what's the difference between like a 72 score and a 74 score? What difference does that actually make to the game? And it feels very much like if a game is not above 80, nobody's buying it anyway because everyone expects it to be a complete car crash. But then you do have testers and reviewers just saying, no, 75 is a good score. It just means it's not a perfect game, but it's a good score. But people don't care about that. If a game is not above 80, then they just won't buy it. So it actually dumps us down quite a bit. I personally catch myself quite often just reading the short comment of the tester in the end of the review and then just looking at the final score and then making up my verdict based on that. And I know that's bad, but in nowadays time where everything has to happen just really fast for everyone, you just rather do that and then maybe watch a let's play video to shape your opinion. On top of that, nowadays there's also just such a diverse range of options how you can get information about games. Whether it is, like I say, let's plays or whether it is, user reviews on Amazon, you can just get so many different opinions and you don't really need Eurogamer or Metacritic to tell you anymore, look, it is a 75.2. It's just a bit of an outdated concept, I feel, and I'm quite happy that Eurogamer has made that big step and dropped their review score system. However, I feel that they didn't go all the way. If you justify a decision like that with what they did actually, that games are changing and there are patches, DLCs and content post-launch, so it's hard to judge a game on launch, you would nearly need to re-evaluate the game, let's say half a year later and maybe 1 year later. So maybe a review doesn't need a final verdict at all. Maybe it is just a video in which you talk about how the game is in that moment in time, and then maybe half a year later another video pops up right underneath that says, look, it's an update and you now can do these things, and that actually makes the game much better, or it doesn't really help, and then a year later maybe there's another video. So a review maybe should nearly be more like a timeline, which you break down into different moments in time where you just look at the game and give it a little bit of an update, really. Obviously, that would be much more work for companies like Eurogamer. They review so many games. It would just pile up to be an unbearable amount of reviews if you would need to update each single review. But maybe you do this for like big games or early access games, or where it is quite relevant how the game might develop in the next year. So these are my thoughts, guys. Leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Will you miss the review scores? Is it helpful to you to just go on a website and see, oh, look, this game has a 79. Well, I'm not going to buy it then. How do you get your information about games? What are the sources that you trust when it comes to recommending a game or not? Let me know all these things down in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Please leave me a like if it did. You can subscribe to my channel. That would be appreciated. Otherwise, stay tuned and I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Bye.